It's the Boomey-Factor review show. And hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Boomey-Factor review show. And this week we have for you the Remaster edition of Shadow of the Colossus. And man, this game is pretty. They really went out and remastered the crap out of this, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, just from the opening scene, like, the opening cinematic, like, it blows away even the remaster from a few years ago on the PS3. Like, it really looks like this game was built from scratch for the PS4, knowing that, you know, it's a game that came out in 2004.
I mean, do you remember from, like, the original, like, if you're looking at, like, just this cutscene alone, like, you remember how blocky that original character looked and how, like, bland the face looked? And now it's like, you look here, there's actual animations coming from his face.
Yeah, and everything was all janky and stuff. Like, you know, everything kind of moved around in, like, a weird motion. You know, not saying the original was bad. It was still one of the, you know, better PS2 games.
I was about to say,
ever.
One of the best PS2 games that's ever been, like, that's been released. So, I mean, it wasn't bad in its own right.
Yeah, but this just takes it up to another level. And on my PS4 Pro, like, I set it for optimization for the frame rate, and it still looks gorgeous. Like, I didn't even optimize it for the best resolution, and you can't even tell. Like,
I didn't either. I mean, I can't, but I didn't either. But and it still looked gorgeous. And I know one of the things we went back and forth on and kind of contemplated while we were going through this was, did we feel that the remastered edition did enough to justify a separate score from what the original got? Because, I mean, the original one was getting perfect scores everywhere. I think we even, like, just as us as gaming fans, thought it was a perfect game. Did we feel like this game did enough to justify a completely new score? Because, I mean, this isn't like your typical remaster. This isn't like, let's take the game and just update some of the graphics and stuff like that, and we'll keep everything else the same. It's almost like they took it back to scratch and rebuilt it specifically for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and I think that's why I think it does do enough to differentiate it. Because I feel like the PS3 version, that's kind of what it did. Like, it glossed it up, made it look a little prettier,
exactly.
And it was basically the same thing. But this just feels fresh. Like, it feels like they really put a lot of time and effort into making sure that, you know, this does feel like it belongs on the newer systems.
Right, and if you're somebody brand new to the series, or I won't even say series because it's not really a series, but if you're brand new to this game, playing on the PlayStation 4, you're going to be like, you know, just completely blown away. So it's not like you're going to be kind of like, oh, well, I don't see what all the hoopla was about. I mean, you get the full-fledged of it here with the remastered version of this.
Oh, yeah. Like, the sense of scale is still there, even though we played through this game.
I mean, look at the landscape.
The third
landscape is freaking beautiful.
Game. Yeah. I mean, they really did a bang-up job, this team, on, you know, you can tell they put a lot of love into this one.
Right. I mean, this game holds near and dear to many Sony fanboys' hearts, and you know, just fans of this particular gameplay out there. And there wasn't very many. I mean, they had Ico, and then they had this, and you see the landscape now as you're riding your horses through the landscape. I mean, you get a really good idea, and the controls are a little bit more fleshed out as well. I mean, it seemed like the horse is a little bit easier to control this time around than it was previously.
Yeah, they fleshed out some of that stuff. Again, they kind of smoothed out some of the rough edges, because even though the first game was getting a perfect score, I mean, it definitely didn't have perfect game mechanics.
No, it didn't. And here's our first look at one of actually your very first Colossi you run into in the game, and you can kind of get an idea now what we were talking about when it comes to sense of scale. This is what you have to go against, and this is just the first one.
Yeah, and they only keep getting better from here. Like, keep getting more creative, more intricate. Like,
look at the fur. The fur's even moving around too, and you don't really get that from the original.
Yeah, you just kind of saw a shade of stuff moving around in the original, where this one they really put a lot of attention into detail with the textures and everything.
And you have to pay attention to your stamina bar, otherwise this thing can throw you off, and you can kind of see that in the bottom right-hand corner. So you got to be really, really mindful of how you take these things down to climb them.
Yeah, I really, like, I feel the people that are playing this game for the first time on here, I feel like it's not fair because they're getting the absolute best version of this, where we had to play the original game where, you know, it didn't look anything close to this.
No, not at all. Here we have a look at our second Colossus here, and this kind of shows you that there are different variations and different ways to attack the Colossi, because they're not all the same. You know, they mimic different animals and stuff like that you see, so they're all game played out differently, and you have to attack each one independently from itself.
Yeah, you're jumping around on this thing's big old butt trying to find its weak spots.
I found it right close to the butthole. I'm giving him the colonoscopy.
Bang. Right in the cheeks.
He can poo. Oh, man.
So, I mean, I think overall for me, I feel like this is our first 5 golden poops.
Yeah, I was fighting it for a while. I really was. I mean, we're going down the rabbit hole. I was definitely battling it for a little while. I was really, really torn because I was fighting whether I think they did enough, and after talking with you about it, you know, and how they really, really took the game back to the roots, to the Rudy to the Tootie, and really rebuilt this thing, you know, to fit the current generation, the platform it's on now, and I think you're right. This is our first 5 golden poop emoji. Our first 5 poopers.
Yeah, this is rare. It's like a unicorn.
As our horse is following behind us. So we greatly appreciate you guys watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like what you see, please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And until next week.